Okay, hi everyone. I didn't do a video last week about books that I've read because I was so into the Chad Daybell case, and it finally wrapped up on Saturday, I think late Saturday morning or early Saturday afternoon. So, yeah, I was emotionally drained by Sunday, so I didn't put a video out. However, today I finished the book Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. Seriously, after reading so many books that are supposed to be, I don't know, fantasy romance, what do they call that, romantasy or whatever, all of the female characters across the board are exactly the same. They're young, they're stupid, they're whiny, and I swear to all get out, they're bipolar. In reality, in reality, there's no way they could keep a guy, let alone, I don't know, maybe there's some guys who would bed them anyway just because they just wanted to bed somebody, but these romances that are taking place between these characters, it's just so far-fetched. This one especially, I cannot tell you how many times I was yelling out loud, "Oh, shut up." And then I added some few choice words a few times. But because I never know who's watching my videos, I will try to keep the language clean. Seriously, when you're supposed to be in the throes of this special moment with this person, and it's supposed to be like, wow, the best thing you've ever done, and he's filling you up, and oh my god, it's just all this great wonderful stuff. You're not gonna sit there and go, oh, but he really made me angry and what he did, and I'm just like, oh my god, oh my god. just please shut her up. I don't get it. I don't get it. I gave the book 2 stars on Goodreads only because I will say that in this particular book, I did think she did a good job with the scene building. And I know a lot of people have disagreed with my comments on Brandon Sanderson. I have to say thank you, though. I'm grateful you guys are writing down your comments. I think that's good. So anyway, definitely please keep your comments coming because I really do appreciate them. And I know one person left the comment that maybe I haven't read enough bigger books, longer books to understand scene building. And that's okay. It was a perfectly valid comment and I got it and I get it. Um, However, I read big books all the time. The one I'm reading now by Dean Koontz is From the Corner of His Eye. So far, I mean, I just started this book and I'm on page 47. I'm hooked. I read this every chance I get now. It's like if I have like 5 minutes and I'm sitting down, this book is gonna be in my hand. Um, I read this whole entire series. This one is the Hades and Persephone. I can't remember how many pages total in that book. Each one is long. Now this one by Ruby Dixon, I'm trying to read her Ice Planet series in their, let's just call them smut. It's not even romance. It's just like pure smut. This one, however, was actually a romance novel, and it was excellent. It had me laughing so hard, literally tears, but in a good way. Not like with Fourth Wing. Fourth Wing, I was laughing because it was ludicrous. This was really, really good. I highly recommend Bound to the Battle God. This is on my to be read book, and it's an H.P. Lovecraft. I think this one is, it's okay. This is the complete set, and I want to read all of this because everybody across the board says if you really want to get in and read really good sci-fi, get H.P. Lovecraft. So I did. Um, got his books. And y'all want a long book? You want a big book? Try War and Peace. This was a big book that I read. This one has, 1,358 pages. Good book, though. I like Tolstoy. I like what he writes, but I remember when I read it, it's been a few years now, so I probably should read it again. It wasn't the wow book that everyone had touted it to be, but maybe because at the time, it's been longer than a few years, but maybe at the time I read it, I might have been too young to really understand what was going on. So I will probably read this one again. I mean, it's in my library. I only get books that I will read again. And you want some really dry, but when I was in nursing school, you have to read this. Grey's Anatomy. It goes through the entire human body. So it's a big book. And it's thick. And yes, we have to read it. We have to know everything in this book. Let me see how many pages are in this one. They're always changing these books too. They update one or two words just so they can turn around and charge the medical students more money for a new book. Okay, this one says 1,055 pages, but it's 1,055 pages of parts of the human body that we have to memorize. So when I say I read big books, just so you know, I read a lot of books and my tastes are varied. I will read almost anything. I do not like, although I've read it, like I said, Ruby Dixon's Ice Planet books, they're just smut. And even some of them, there was one of these in this series that I read that it was just like, okay, why? Other than trying to sell to get money, it just was not very good. Get this one, very, very good. The other one. But anyway, I do read a lot. And these are the books one I'm reading now, and then the next one on my list, the H.P. Lovecraft. However, now to get back to the Fourth Wing, I don't know. I went and I looked it up. I stopped it because I had to go find out if this was young adult, because it's written like it was geared towards some teenager who wouldn't understand what it's really like to be in a romance or a romantic situation with someone that you, and I understand it's an enemies to lovers story, but even in that situation, I don't think Rebecca Yarros has much experience. So, I mean, God bless her little heart. I don't know anything about her. I don't know how old she is, but just by the writing, it is very it's not good. It's not good in that regard. I don't know if it gets better as the series goes on, where writers tend, like a first book or whatever is pretty awful, and I get that, so you kind of give them some leeway, but at the same time, when literary agents and publishers are like, we don't want to know series, we don't want all this, we want to see what you have, and it better knock our socks off. And then having these same people say, well, no, you have to read 700 pages in. Wait till you get 3/4 of the way through the book. Then it's good. No, 1,000 times. No, it did not, nothing about sweeping me off my feet. This book, within 10 pages, I was hooked. And Dean Koontz is an amazing writer. I was hooked. Same thing with Clive Cussler. I read a Clive Cussler novel and I am hooked like within the first couple pages. Stephen King, might take a chapter or two, but you know what you're getting with Stephen King. You know it's going to be good because it may be a slow build, but what is happening, it seems to be boring at the beginning, is going to be a major decision maker, at least by halfway through the novel. You know it's coming. But these other books, and I tried, I didn't know about the Fourth Wing series because I'd started to read the second book first and then found out it was the second book. And I was so frustrated with that one. So why I put myself through this, I have no idea. But I'm like, okay, maybe I'm frustrated with this Violet character because I didn't get the first book. So I get the first book and I read it and I'm like, oh, heaven help me, this is in my kindling pile. It was not good. I don't understand all the hype. I don't understand why so many people are like, oh, you got to read this. You got to read this. This is so good. And it was the same thing with a Stormlight series. I got the world building in Stormlight. Yeah, they're on this chasm and plateaus and they're fighting these chasm fiends or whatever they're called to get their Stormlight gems, and those are used for their special power. I get it. I got it. But it was boring. Boring. And, because but I did like Kaladin. I really liked Kaladin and what's her name? Shallan or Shallan? I'm not sure how Brandon Sanderson says the character's name. But she was the one who sketched everything, I liked her character, but she was a thief and a bitter person. And then she's stealing from Jasna and Jasna doesn't kill her. Really? Jasna can go and kill all these dudes who she either knows will or have done some pretty unsavory deeds toward women. And so she takes Shallan out with her and one night and they go into this seedy part of town and, she eviscerates these guys just to get them off the street. But yet she is faced with this young girl who is stealing a gem from her that she thinks is about, Jasna's power, and then she brings her back into the fold. Are you kidding me? See, it's just not believable. To me, nothing is believable. There was a lot of really, and Kaladin's parents who seem so loving and caring, but then they don't go to see him because now he's some, slave or something and he's not worth their time. And that's what I'm saying. It's like things like that. And in Fourth Wing, a lot of that was the same thing. You have this young girl thrown into a situation, and whether or not she chose it herself, or I can't remember. See, it was so bad I can't even remember. Was she pushed into the academy or did she go willingly? I don't even remember. But it's this academy where she's always like, I'm going to do it anyway. You can't tell me not to do this. And I'm fragile and I break easy, but you better leave me alone. And then she's on this mat. And this is the thing that kills me with people who write these books. Write them realistically. If you have a female in a ring with a guy, that guy is going to smear that girl all over the place. I'm tough. I was very strong in my day. And there were plenty of people I put down with relative ease. But I am telling you, 99.999% of the guys that I would go up against, they beat my butt. It's just how it is. And to write it so that these women are creaming these guys in a ring and making these guys whimper and, oh, don't hurt me. And the characters of the guys aren't, like effeminate. They're like, like a guy's guy. How many of you men out there are going to sit there and take that? If you were an academy and it was life or death, you or them, how many of you are going to not go out there with one big solid punch and take that female down? I would if I were a guy. And so to write it as if these women are somehow mysteriously super, they can win these battles, it is not fair to being female. Write our characters realistically. We have strengths in our own way. We are not as physically strong as men, but we've got the mental acuity. Not guys do too, but I'm saying write her in a smart way. Not a spoiled rotten brat who gets her arm broken, her arm's dislocated, she's beat up and bloodied. and then this her frenemy is the one who saves her, and then she's cussing him out and hating him and pushing him around and telling him what a good for nothing loser he is, and then at the same time jumping his bones and screaming his name and burning things down because of her power, but then turn around and, oh, you're such an a-hole. Oh, and I'm just like, what? What? No, no, no. I don't like those kind of stories. However, like I said, I do like how she wrote the dragons. Like Violet's dragon, Tern, I loved that dragon. I thought she did a really good, she was very good at writing, like from an animal's point of a dragon's point of view, and how they connect and then how they can help each other. Okay, my air conditioner turned on and it's super loud, so I just stopped recording until it went off. But anyway, as I was saying, it's like I really think Rebecca Yarros did a great job in writing the scenes that involved the dragons and how the dragons bonded with, the writers and stuff like that. But again, there were far too many scenes that were not believable. It was ridiculous. I mean, even for a story, you will. I hate to roll my eyes at a book. I did so much rolling my eyes, going, "Oh my god, oh my god," and then what I listened to was the audiobook, and this particular audiobook had a full cast, and which is really great idea. I think that's really cool. We get all these people doing all these parts, and you have sights and sounds. But they're gonna have to do some work on those spicy scenes because it was hilarious. And you're not supposed to be laughing, right? You're supposed to be going, "Oh, it's so romantic," and I'm laughing, going, "Oh my god, really? Is that what you guys think happens?" Okay, but and then again, just I don't know, being a female, I don't know. I'm not a guy, right? So if maybe you guys could fill me in. Is that realistic? Are you guys met with women who, if you're in the throes of stuff, who decide that they want to, you know, turn ice cold because they're angry about something you did yesterday, but you're like in the throes of something where they're like screaming your name and it's so good, right? And then boom, this. I mean, come on, Rebecca. We women don't do that. And if you do that, sweetheart, I'm sorry, but it can't be that good if you've got your mind on an argument from the day before. Yeah, it's not what you're pretending to be. Don't fake it till you make it in these scenes. Please just don't. It ruins it. And, again, enough of the whiny females who are, again, constantly angry with the guys. The guys, if they breathe wrong, all of a sudden they're scum buckets. They're not worth your time of day. And it's like, stop it. Stop, stop, stop. Why can't they be frenemies or friends to lovers with two decent, mature adults who just happen to see things from different points of view, who maybe have a job that the other one thinks is not right? Okay, think of them as a Republican and a liberal. Okay? Write it from those types of angles. They're not necessarily a-holes and jerks, but they would definitely be enemies. But then there's this path that leads them together. And, none of this, again, it just seems so immature and it's not realistic, which really takes the romance out of it. And, although when I found out, because when I started reading the Persephone and Hades story, I did not know Greek mythology. I'll tell you that I didn't. So I didn't understand that Persephone was the niece of Hades. So before that little tidbit of information came into play, I thought she did a fantastic job. You want to talk about enemies to lovers? This was written so well. But the moment I found out that they were related, that was disgusting to me. No, incest was not a topic I felt should have been breached. And if that's Greek mythology, again, y'all need therapy. Get rid of these little, gods and demigods that are written about. Toss them in the trash, burn them because it's disgusting. However, you want another enemies to lovers story? Bound to the Battle God. These were two mature adults coming from, you have a demigod and a human, and they're thrown together, so it's close proximity, enemies to lovers, the things they go through, and then what they have to go through to be together. It's I was not screaming, just like reading a part going, oh my God, shut up. Just shut up. Do you not know how to not whine? And that's what I did with Fourth Wing. Again, not impressed. And, I so want to like these books. I wouldn't spend my time listening to and reading them if I didn't want to like the characters. I'm not a masochist, okay? I don't like go around picking up books going, well, this is going to suck, so let me read it so I can complain. No. You pick up a book so it can get you to a different world for a little bit. I was looking for something to get me through the end days of the Chad Daybell trial. Now, I don't know if any of you followed that, but it was heavy. Oh my God, that was a hard case to follow. 8-9 weeks of trials and everything. So when it was coming to the end, I really needed something to escape, how two young children were unalived by a mother and her new husband. I needed to escape that. And I was, going, okay, let me try Fourth Wing just to get my head out of what I was watching and having to listen to every day. And it was like, not it at all. And I don't know. I'm open to series too. If you guys know of a book, it could be a standalone, a series or whatever, but if it's, well written from a mature point of view, these young immature people who go around screaming, I'm an adult. You can't tell me that I'm an adult. Right there, no, you're not. Because a real adult female would not sit there and go, you can't tell me I'm going to do this anyway because I'm an adult. No, we'll look at you and go, okay, and we're going to go do it. We don't need any permission. We're not going to argue about it. We're just going to go do it. So, therein lies the huge difference. I don't know, maybe I'm too old, too mature. I think maybe mature. I'll go mature. I'm not ready for the old word yet. Then, to deal with some of these younger writers. But again, I don't know. Ruby Dixon and Scarlett St. Clair's is relatively young. Excellent books. They kept my attention for sure. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to finish the second book of the. I can't remember what the title is. See, when I don't like it, I forget. I will wipe it from my memory, because like I said, I started that one first, and I got maybe about 150 pages in, and I'm just like, I don't get this. This is just so stupid. But again, her whiny little attitude. And then I'm like, oh, okay, I think I'm missing something. Yeah, I wasn't missing much. So anyway, I just, so to keep from repeating myself over and over and over again, and sorry, I know I do that. I just want to say thank you to all of you people who are, leaving comments. I love it, and it's okay. And I even love the ones who are like going, hey, you don't get this, or, hey, it's better than that, or I really like this book. Great. Leave those comments. It's fantastic. I'd like to hear other people's points of view. And, who knows? Maybe you can change my mind. I don't know. Maybe I won't, but it's okay. And that's the whole idea behind all of this. It's to get and discuss. Tell me what it is you like about this story. And if you think I'm missing a plot point, then say, hey, this is really what this was going on. Because I know with me, the moment I get frustrated with the character, I shut down. I don't listen to anything they have to say. I'm like, all right, you're an idiot. I'm done with you. And then so I just read and get through it, because it's like, this is torture. But I'm trying really hard not to just DNF books. I did DNF one book, and I think I'm going to start keeping track and do a whole separate video. Another super popular series by Sarah J. Maas, and it was horrible. Again, I mean, all these people who are super popular, and I'm not getting it. I am not seeing the hype, but please feel free to recommend. Feel free to comment. If you agree with me, great. If you don't, let me know why. Just like you have been doing. And I really appreciate it. So you guys have a great day.